How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the three trades that I took on NQ. My first trade, I got stopped out. My second trade, I re-entered the initial trade idea. That was my winner on the day. And then my third trade, I took with just one single contract, just looking to see if I could squeeze out a little bit more profit. That was stopped out for a loss. So we're up $12 on the day, pretty much break even. Um, we'll go over some of the mistakes I made because this could have been a much better day had I been perhaps a bit more patient. So take a look. First of all, I'm going to pull up the hourly chart and we'll just take a look at what I was watching coming into the day. So we have Tuesday's session and Wednesday's session here. You can see that we kind of created this inability to close higher, right? We kind of have a double top here, but we have a higher low. So we have Tuesday's low, we have Wednesday's low, which is higher. We have essentially equal highs here. And then coming into the day, we were opening up near yesterday's low. So what I was watching was, do we hold and create another higher low, in which case I was looking for a move to the upside, or do we break this low and create more downside? So kind of what I was watching is, when we open, do we come down and hold this low, and specifically the value area low of yesterday's price action? So I'll show that in a minute on the 5-minute chart. We can take a look at that. In which case I wanted to look for an opportunity to go long, or do we sell through, break this most recent low, in which case I was looking for opportunities to short. So that's kind of what I was looking at coming into the day, just an overview. And if I pull up the 5-minute chart, here's what we're looking at here. So once again, this is yesterday's price action. Here's that low of the day. We were opening it kind of close to it. And what I wanted to see is how we reacted to the overnight value area low and yesterday's value area low, as I was expecting these areas to act as support. And I wanted to see buyers step in here. And if I saw that, I was going to long it. And you can see how price played out. It did come down, it did hold that area, and then it made a nice move to the upside. Now, I had the right idea, but I wasn't able to capture this full move. The reason being is we had some pretty choppy price action in here before we got that move. And that move happened at 10 a.m. when we had news. So I avoid having a trade open during news release, just because of the implied volatility that can, cause things to go one way or another without really an understanding of what's going to happen. So, like I said, could have traded this better, could have capitalized more. I had the right idea, and I just have to take that as a confidence builder. So let's take a look. Like I said, we opened, we wicked down, we tested that area, we pushed up, we came down, we wicked down in here again. I entered a long position. So I might have been a little impatient. I did wait for the first 5-minute candle to test and hold that level. And then on the second 5-minute candle, when we came down and tested that level, I entered long. Now, if I pull up the 1-minute chart, might take a bit. Here we are. So if we're looking at the 1-minute chart, you can see that we had come down. We see volume holding pretty high. We kind of form a doji and start to move up. As we pull back down into this area, I entered a long position, and I placed my stop below the low of day. So I placed my stop below this wick. In this same 1-minute candle, we wicked me out and stopped me out. But once that candle closed, and it closed on high volume and a hammer, holding that level again, I re-entered on the next candle because I still liked this trade idea. This candle quickly came up and hit my first take profit for 30 points. And in which case I had a runner left, and I slid my stop loss just above break even. What I wanted to see was, I wanted to see price come up and hit 350 area. And the reason being is that was yesterday's point of control. So I wanted to see it hold yesterday's value area low and then rotate up to that point of control. We eventually did that later in the day, like I said, but before doing that, we had some choppy price action, right? We dropped, we got a little bounce, we dropped, we got a little bounce, we dropped, we got another bounce, we started to pull back again. And I think what would have been a better entry is, well, first of all, my second trade entry was much better because we had this confirmation, this strong hammer holding that level again after we swept that low. So swept that liquidity, held it, got a nice move. I had the right idea. I'm not mad at this trade idea at all. You know, hindsight's always 20/20. So runner got stopped out. We had a small gain on the day at this point. We were up $43 to be exact. From there, the only other trade that I took, I was trying to be patient. The only other idea that I wanted was once we broke above, I wanted to see us pull back and hold the overnight point of control, that 380, and get continuation to the upside. We missed it by just a few points. You can see the low of this candle is about 385. So missed that point of control by just a few points. And then once we did that and we started moving up, I entered a single contract and I was just targeting a move to high a day. And the reason why I entered it is because we were pulling back to not the overnight session before today, but 2 days ago, we had that value area low. If I draw a level here, so we had that value area low, and you can see that we had tested it and failed to close above, but then we got a nice strong close, and then we came down and tested it and held, in which case I entered, and then the following candle stopped me out. So that was really just looking on a break and hold of that level and then continuation up, and I was looking for this uptrend to continue. Like I said, I only took it with a single contract. I had $40 profit on the day. That's essentially break even. You know, that doesn't really move the needle much. So I was willing to risk $30 of that $40 profit that I had, and targeting high a day. It was over 50 points, so it would have been over $100. So I was risking $30 for over 100, a little bit over a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio on that. And had it hit my take profit, we would have had about a $150 win on the day, which is smaller than usual, but it would have been plenty enough to satisfy me. So that's why I took that trade. So 3 trades on the day technically. Really it was 2 because I just re-entered a trade that stopped me out, but it was the exact same idea just a minute later. What I could have done better on that first trade, and I like that I identified it on the hourly, you know, the fact that we were making a higher low, looking for a move to the upside, but also kind of correlating that with yesterday's value area low as well. But I think entering, and easier said than done because like I said, we had this news candle, so I didn't want to enter around news. But once we made a high on this day, you know, we broke our daily high, set a new high, and then pulled back into that area and held it. It would have been a really nice entry. But like I said, that retest was also on the news candle right at 10 a.m. But the reaction that we got is kind of more what I was looking for when I entered here. I wanted to see price move up aggressively and test that point of control, and we didn't quite capture that. So not a perfect day by any means, but we're out of there with a very, 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 very small win of $12.50. So essentially like break even. We'll come back to the market tomorrow and try to end the week strong. And yeah, just looking back and understanding I had the right idea. Maybe some execution was a little off, maybe a little impatient, maybe just a little bit of bad luck. You know, it can be a combination of all those. This second trade up here was, I wouldn't have taken it with full size. So that tells me that I probably shouldn't have taken it at all. But, you know, it was a little risk that I was willing to take. Like I said, I had a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio with a single contract. It was something that I was willing to try. That's it. That's all I have. It's a quick review today. Pretty simple. But we have sold off. We have created a new low, breaking both Tuesday and Wednesday's lows. So it looks like this downtrend is continuing for now. And we'll see what Friday brings us. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I do trade live Monday through Friday on this channel. Stop by if you'd like. And hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.